everyone. My name is Atish. I'm a senior developer at Attorney General's Department. Tonight, I'm gonna briefly talk about the CRM use in AGD, and then later on gonna talk about the automated deployment in CRM using TFS builds and Visual Studio. Basically, we got Dynamics CRM in 2011. It was just initially in 2011 we had very light base used. We had a couple of applications deployed in Dynamics CRM by 2012, and then by 2015 we added around 6 more applications into Dynamics CRM. So we developed a few applications in Dynamics CRM initially in 2011, which were one of them being Marriage Celebrant application, which is kind of application allows to manage the application for the celebrant which gets submitted online, come through into CRM. It manages about 10,000 plus celebrants applications, and we also have the integration of CRM with SAP. So similarly, we have got a firearms system as well, which is currently in 2011, which is got of the similar nature of application processing as we have for marriage celebrants. It's also got the similar architecture as well. So pretty much both the firearms and marriage celebrants share the same architecture in terms of the getting the application from portal to Dynamics CRM and then processing them. So currently our current workload looks like we have CRM application upgrade going on currently. So all the application we have in 2011, we are currently migrating them to 2015. And as a part of migration, we're also doing some upgrade as well to the application. So that's currently ongoing. And then this is our upcoming workloads and projects. So we have got a couple of case management systems lined up in Dynamics CRM. The reason why we chose Dynamics CRM as a preferred platform is because it gives you out-of-box functionality to process the workflows, business processes, and run the workflow out of box, and all the integration it's got with, for example, Outlook, Office, and the SharePoint, and the other resources of enterprise. So you can see we have another CRM upgrade to another project lined up, which is later in this year. Perhaps it may happen, but this is something which is also we have got in mind, which we're gonna upgrade this 2015 to 2016, because we might miss out the releases if we don't upgrade to 2016 of the latest, and the bug fixes which are currently in 2016 for the workflows. So this is our overview of CRM infrastructure at AGD. I'm sorry, this is a bit, I tried to put everything into one slide, but just high level. We have, currently we have 4 CRM tenants. We have dev, then we have test, and then we have pre-prod, and then we have prod. So basically we develop our solutions in development environment and then package them up and promote to the test environment, and after the testing we just deploy them to pre-prod and prod. Currently we don't have any automated test, but we are working on it. For example, the coded UI test we don't have at the moment, it's all manual right now. But you can see there, like we have the integration of CRM with SAP, Exchange, SharePoint, and Trim all the way through. So this helps us. Like this is the connectivity of our dev and pre-prod and prod servers to the other enterprise system. So our development and deployment process is basically developers got their own VMs, so they have the VM has got all the tools and so we have the base image in the VMware, which basically provision automatically the virtual VMs in the development environment. An individual developer got their own workspace, so they develop their solution in their own dev VMs. And then we have a DFS which got the source code. We don't have Visual Studio online, unfortunately, but we probably head towards that. So basically what happens is a developer develop the solution in dev environment and gets they get the master development copy which reside in the TFS, and then they basically execute they work on the development master copy and execute local developer build and build the artifacts. And then the process is of course checking in. Of course, I mean, this is also very got to be very cautious when you check in. Make sure that you are getting the latest source code. So compare before you check in. That's what the process is. And then we didn't have but in 2011 we didn't have the automation, any sort of automation. But in 2015 we started thinking about like putting the builds and build definitions. So currently with TFS 2015 we got some build definition setup, which I'm going to talk about later on, just after this slide. But this is the process we have currently. So we have gated check-in build. When multiple developers working on a CRM solution, it helps that you whatever the two developers are working on, and when they get they get build and get checked in, before checking into the TFS, the build takes care of the successful merge of the solution so that they don't break. That's the benefit of the gated check-in build. The CI build as well, we have, if one developer working on one project, then we have the CI build set up. So it's kind of a mix of both. And then schedule build we haven't used that much, schedule build. So we have, what we have there is the continuous integration. Just after from dev, your package get checked in into the TFS, build kicks in, and then that triggers the continuous integration, and then it deploys the package into the CRM continuous integration server. And from there on, currently we are using CRM package deployer to deploy into the staging environment. So what we have from continuous integration server, then from continuous integration to dev integration server. So the dev integration server allows us to integrate our application so that they make sure they work with other enterprise system if they have any connectivity whatsoever. And then from DevInt, we deploy our solutions to test and the pre-prod. Currently we have just one set of, we have virtual organization in one domain which we basically share. So dev organization, sorry, test organization and UAT organization in the pre-prod environment. And then we have the prod environment which goes through after testing and executing the test. This is our promotion path basically. This is all done through CRM package deployer at the moment, but we are looking towards automating all this through either TFS release management or probably Octopus build. I have a little bit of a trial of TFS release management which I'm working on currently, which will basically automatically promote the code from package CRM packages from continuous integration to DevInt and test and pre-prod. So this is our standard current build definition we have. So we have this is our standard build definition. We have got TFS build, which is standard build, which looks into the solution, builds it, compiles it, put the artifacts into the build location, and then we have some unit test which runs after build, make sure that unit tests execute, and then you have the third step, which is publishing symbols, which is about if you have the if you want to put the PDB files, which is for debugging, for instance, in continuous integration server, you can use this step, and then copy and publish build artifacts. So this is this step. We copy the build artifacts done in the first step and place it into the integration server from the TFS, and then PowerShell kicks in, and which will basically execute the package and deploy it into the continuous integration. So our flow, as you can see on the left hand side, on the left hand side is that you run the TFS build and unit test. So which basically build the CRM solution, run unit test, copy the package files into the Pro folder from the third step, and then we have the PowerShell script which executes and invoke the CRM packages. Dynamic CRM package deployer, and then it basically import the solution, and then we have any integration test we run them. So why we chose CRM package deployer? It's got many benefits. It allows the automating the build process. It's easy to use. It's got many benefits, like you can have custom code which can basically when you import your solution, you can have your custom code which can run before import and after import, which gives you which is helpful in a way that it gives you benefit that if you want to, in a managed scenario, if you want to delete a view, it's much easier to use package deployer because you have post import solution. You have that command you can write and which can basically wipe off the view from managed solution, which is much handy. And then it's also helpful for the CRM admins as well, because it gives you the progress view of the installation. So I'm gonna run through a TFS build demo. So, unfortunately, I was working on my VM, which 2 days ago, which got corrupted, and I had to rebuild it. So thanks, Mohammed, for helping me out from yesterday and today. What we have done is, because I'm gonna show just a quick demo how the build, how we have set up our builds and the build definition. So before I move on, I will show you how the project structure look like. So in CRM we have this standard solution package. We have this standard project definition. So what you can see there is the different projects, package project, CRM package project, which comes as a part of developer toolkit. It allows you to deploy the packages what you develop in the Visual Studio, and then I have a package there as well, which is the place where solution packager extract the files. And I have also got there a plugin and the plugin unit test and workflows. So I couldn't do much of the unit testing there, but I tried to cover all these. So I'm gonna just show you how to develop. So this is what I have here is I'm just gonna show you. So in this dev environment, I'm trying to do a prototype of our deployment process. So what I have here is the development organization, CI organization, and test organizations. So I have 3 organizations. This is my development organization, then I have test and CI organization. What I've done is, using Visual Studio, I connect to the dev organization, which is my currently CRM demo. I'm going to open this solution and probably add, for example, new entity. In here you can see the CRM demo entity. So a developer basically develop entity in there and publish. And through CRM package, which is a part of developer toolkit, deploy. So what it does is it deploys the solution packages unmanaged into the solution files. You can see here, it's working on all the DLLs and deploy. So file is in the solution file. So this is the common place where all the assemblies and the solution goes in. And from there on, I have this package solution. So what it does is it extracts the package which was deployed and put it into the source control. You can see there are some modifications. Part of package. I'll show. So this is the organization. So this is the entity I have added. So include that. And basically, what I do then is check in. Once it's checked in, I'm gonna execute build. So before I step into the build, I'm gonna show you the definition I've set up here. The same definition which I talked about. So it's the TFS build is the first step. What it does is builds your solution. And then you have the Visual Studio test, which runs all the unit tests, and you have index sources, which is about the basically putting your PDB files, the debug files, into the folder. If you want to put them, you can put them into the CRM. For CRM debugging, you can put into the local CRM organizations. And then you have copy and publish build artifacts. What it does is all the build artifacts which were done in the first step, it just copies them and drop into the TFS drop folder. And then we have a PowerShell script which kicks in and basically grab all these packages from there and deploy into the continuous integration server. If I kick in the build, takes a bit of time because what it's doing is getting the CRM solution from the drop folder and basically importing it. It should work. Just not picking up. But the idea here is just deploy to the CI, continuous integration organization, and then from there we kick in our release management, basically deploy a release. Sorry, still not picking up. But anyway, I'm not sure of. I had hiccups with this because it's just the setup I did in a couple of days. So, but what the idea is that after build, it goes into the CI, the continuous integration server, and in the organization, and from there you can take that, you run your integration test if you've got, and then you basically take those packages and deploy to the staging servers. So I have also set up release definition in here. Um, this is a part of TFS release. TFS 2015 got update 2, which has got the release in there. This is very interactive, and this is probably, I'm currently working on it, and we're looking towards that, how do we implement this release management at AGD. So I'll move on to this slide. So basically what TFS release management does is, when the solution is deployed, solution get deployed into Dev Integration Server, you have a workflow there which basically comes into the picture. You approve the package, and then it goes to the test release, and then subsequently to the pre-prod release and the prod release. So this is how the TFS release management works. We are not mature, but this is what we are trying out at the moment. So this is currently we are working on. And then, sorry, because I was trying to. Create a release with the last successful build. So I have put myself as an approver. And this will take the package and deploy to the test site. You'll see the logs here.
Just looking at the top.
Sorry.
Now,
It's,
is it?
That's pretty much it. Sorry, it's a big demo, but I tried to put it short, but couldn't do it. Yeah, but that's pretty much it from my side.